Hi everyone, and welcome along to the very first episode of the Freelance Mama Live, which as you can see is not actually live today because I have been having tech issues like you would not believe. Um, so please forgive me if you were on Facebook at 1 p.m. and you missed this. I'm so sorry. I am doing my best here to get this tech sorted, and hopefully by Monday's episode we will be all good. But I just wanted to welcome you along to the very first episode of Freelance Mama Live. And today, I really hope all of you are keeping safe and well, and that everything is nice in your bubble and things aren't too stressful for you. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, I kind of felt like I wanted to do something a little bit to help those of you who might be struggling with work at the moment, or perhaps may be trying to think about other ways to bring in income at the moment. And I thought the best way to do that is to do this live series, to come on and talk to you guys on a regular basis and share with you a bit of information about what freelancing is, how it all works, how you can find your first client, and those kinds of things to really help you to understand how freelancing could be a really good opportunity for you, especially at this kind of crazy time when everybody is a bit all over the place. I think a lot of you will have noticed recently how it might be a bit easier than you thought it would be to work from home, and I think a lot of companies and other employers are trying to sort of starting to see as well that there are opportunities to bring people in maybe on a freelance basis because they can see that this freelance from home thing actually works quite well. Anyway, I digress. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kellie and I call myself the Freelance Mama. And what I do is I help mums to find ways to use the skills that they already have to create their own freelance businesses from home. And I think that I hope there's a few of you out here who think that this is going to be something that could work well for you, and that you stick around and listen to the video, and that you keep listening to the videos, because I'm going to develop this as the weeks go on. So today what we're going to talk about is exactly what the term freelancing means and how it could apply to you. I know I've covered this in some of my previous posts, but I think it's really important for anybody who's new here or perhaps hasn't quite got their head around the term to listen in so that you can get a good understanding of what it means. But before we get started, I just want to say that I'd love for you to take the opportunity to comment on these videos, comment on these weekly lives that are coming through. Obviously it's not live today, but feel free to drop in a comment and I will post the video and come in and check those comments later as well and respond to anybody if you have any queries. I think it's a really good opportunity to ask questions from somebody who's actually doing this, so jump in and make the most of that. And I think there'll be also, if there's some questions that I feel like need a more complete answer, then I will jump on and either do another live video or I will do your very own episode. So make the most of that opportunity. But let's dive into today's question. Now, I chose this topic because I know that in New Zealand, it's not, freelancing is not a really commonly used term. And perhaps there are people who are missing the opportunity to get into freelancing just because they don't either understand exactly what it is or how it applies to their own skill set. I know for me personally, back when I was looking for ways to get out of my corporate job, freelancing wasn't even on my radar. I hadn't even thought that there were opportunities for me to do what I was already doing or something very similar to what I was doing working from home. I thought I had to come up with a whole new business idea, like selling a product or selling getting into one of those sort of online marketing type things like an MLM or similar, or maybe even to go back to university. That was something that just kind of really freaked me out, the idea of having to go back and restudy at university when I had two small kids was kind of really scary, and I didn't really want to do that. In fact, I did actually end up trying a few different business models before I got to freelancing. So I had a online baby store, and I tried selling some products on Amazon as well, and neither of those worked out particularly well for me. That's a whole other story though, so we won't go into that in too much detail today. So what I wanted to get started with today is a definition of what freelancing means. So basically, a freelancer is just somebody who uses the skills that they have and they sell them to somebody else on a job by job basis. So another way to think about it, I guess, is that you're a contractor. I guess that's the more commonly used term here, is that you would be a contractor, or perhaps another term that you would have heard of is a VA. I don't particularly like the term contractor because it seems like really formal, and a freelance relationship often isn't that formal. And the term VA, it's great. There's a lot of people working as VAs now because they are, they're providing virtual assistant support, so things like web support and those kinds of things. But freelancing doesn't have to be limited to those VA skills. That's why I kind of prefer the term freelancer. It kind of encompasses all sorts of different skill sets, and I really like the word that it's got free in there, because that's kind of what the freelancing thing is all about for me. It's about being able to create some freedom and some flexibility around the kids, around the lifestyle that you want to have. So I think that freelancer term really captures it really, really nicely. And freelancing really can bring that free sense of freedom into your life. One of the parts of being a freelancer that I really like is that you're not employed as such. So basically you're your own boss, and that gives you the opportunity to pick and choose the kinds of work you do. You can take on contracts you like doing. You can take on clients you like working with. You can choose to do jobs that are long-term or short-term, or whatever fits in with your schedule, whatever works for you. And that's really great. So I have a mix of clients that some are jobs that are sort of one-off type things. I have some, most of my stuff is ongoing, so fairly regular work, but it's very, very different projects. Some are short-term, some are long-term. Excuse me. And as I said, that means you can pick and choose the kind of clients and the kind of jobs that you take on. So you can put together an offering, or you can put together a business model around the things that you like to do. You might choose to pick and choose different aspects of your skill set and focus on the ones you really enjoy. And the other thing that's really great is that, unlike the day job, you can choose to turn work down if it doesn't fit in with your schedule, or you can schedule work at a time that suits you. So if it's school holidays, for example, you can say, look, I can't take on a contract during the school holidays. I'm going to do it. I can do it after the school holidays, or I can do it before the school holidays, but that 2 weeks I'm unavailable. Or you can, for example, say, well, look, I'll get that done for you during the school holidays, but I'm going to be offline during the daytime. I work in the evening time, and I'll get that to you by a certain date. So it really is great to have that kind of flexibility. Do you like the sound of that? I hope so, because it's really cool. And so I really wanted to, I just need to skip ahead in my notes. Sorry, guys. So basically, in terms of freelancing, all you need is some skills that you can sell to somebody else, that you can do hours for dollars. And I'm pretty sure most of you will have skills that you can use. So I wanted to provide you some examples to get it really clear how it might work. And the first example I wanted to use was the example of a teacher. So some of you on here might have perhaps been a teacher, or maybe you are a teacher currently. And I think teaching is an area where there are lots of opportunities for you to use your skills to work as a freelancer. There's the more obvious ones. So for example, it might be like an after school tutor, or maybe a relief teacher. But then there's so many other things that you could do that I think are really cool. Like, for example, maybe you could provide support to parents who are homeschooling. Maybe you could help, you could tutor kids who are traveling around the world, or maybe you could provide advice to the parents who are homeschooling kids that are traveling around the world. You could do something completely different, and maybe it's not a teaching as such. You might be providing support to a business who's creating learning products for kids and teaching them how that they could work with the curriculum to make products that are helpful for schools or helpful for homeschoolers and that kind of thing. For me personally, I used to work as a lawyer, and when I decided I didn't want to do that job anymore, I kind of had this feeling like I have all these skills and they're going to be wasted when I stop doing this and go off and try and find a different business model. But what I realized after a while, when I managed to pick up some work that it happened to come to me, and I didn't go looking for it, I was asked if I could help. I realized that I had a lot of skills and experiences from having worked in the legal industry that meant that I could contract to other lawyers and provide them assistance with their work. And so I didn't have to be a lawyer to do this work, but I was able to do a whole range of different things to help out these people because I understand their industry really intimately. I've worked in that industry, and now I do a whole range of work, not specifically legal work, but I do a whole range of things from invoicing and admin work and research and all of those kinds of different tasks that I know how to do because I was a lawyer in the past. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And I hope that from these examples, you're able to see how freelancing could work for you. So you could use your skills perhaps quite similar to what you do now. You could sell your skills on an hours for dollars basis, doing, depending on your industry, you might be able to sell your skills basically doing what you do in the day job, but doing it from home and selling it to a whole range of different clients. But I hope you can see that you can use your skills in lots of different ways to be able to get freelance work, to do freelance work, and that can be really helpful to somebody else. You might even be able to see a combination of different things that you could do that would enable you to earn an income from home. And sometimes it's that combination of different skills that you have from your different work experiences and life experiences that are kind of the secret sauce to coming up with what's a really good freelance business model for you. So you're probably wondering how this could apply to you. Well, I would say the best thing for you to do is to go out and have a look and see if you can find other people who are doing the kinds of things that you are thinking about doing, or which maybe you haven't even thought about about what you might do. But have a look and see what people who have worked in your industry are doing as freelancers. Have a look on LinkedIn, have a look on Facebook, have a look in different online communities, or just Google and see who you can find who is doing something using the same sorts of skills that you have and selling their skills on a freelance or contract sort of a basis. And one thing I like to say as well is, chances are if you've been paid for doing something in the past, or you may be being paid for doing it currently in one way or another as an employee perhaps, then the chances are you'll be able to sell your skills as a freelancer. So have a look around, see what other people are doing, and that might give you some inspiration for how you can get started as a freelancer. And the chances are that the people who are doing these things aren't going to be calling themselves a freelancer. They've probably got some other sort of description for it. So it may not be as simple as just searching for the term freelance teacher or freelance accountant or whatever. Be creative with your searching. You could even talk to other people in your industry, your friends or your colleagues, about the kinds of things that they think would be great to have on a freelance basis. I'm really confident that whatever skills you have, there are freelance opportunities out there for you. And once you come up with one, you'll be away laughing. And I think that's awesome because you're just going to love it. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on and watch this episode. I hope you've taken away something valuable from what you've learned. And as I said, if you do have any questions, then please do jump on, leave me a comment, and I will come back and answer. Just in case you didn't have a chance to write anything down, I'm going to put together a short little PDF explaining some of the terms I've talked about today and a few other little added extras. So I'll make that available on my website, and I'll put a link in the comments to this as well. And that'll be available at thefreelancemama.com/freelancer. So you can download that and have some extra pointers to get going on your freelance journey today. I'll try and get that up later today for you, so bear with me. It's chaos with kids at home, etc., as I'm sure you will understand. But make sure you tune in again on Monday for episode 2. Hopefully this time the episode will be live, and we're going to talk all about how to create a win-win relationship with your freelance clients, and why I think that's so important right now with everything crazy that's going on in the world. And I think it's going to continue to be important in the months or maybe years that come. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you for your time today, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye.